Joe would want it.
Golly, it's hard to realize she's been away the whole summer, isn't it? I wonder if she'll be changed.
My Betty Joe changed? Of course not. You know something's missing.
Are you sure, Mom?
Well, of course I'm not sure. If I was sure, I'd know what it was.
I meant about Betty Joe changing. After all, going halfway around the world is...
Well, it's not the way it once was, dear. The world is a pretty small place, you know, now.
It's pretty big when the farthest you've ever been is Crabwell Corners.
Honey, you're sure no trouble. Doesn't make it only take one of you, and it was Betty Joe's graduation present, and I just remembered. Her baseball uniform. They retired her number.
Well, that's what we mean, Mom. After all this traveling, Betty Joe's just bound to be changed.
Changed how?
Well, she just won't go for things like that. And all these kid things.
You mean 3 months traveling has turned her into a Grandma Moses?
It isn't that, Mom. It's just that... Oh, forget it. That's right. Forget it. Mothers are the last to know.
What is this mothers are the last to know? Up till a few years ago, I was dandling Betty Joe on my knee. Now you want me to turn in my lap? Here's Steve. I gotta tell him the good news.
Do you think Mom's a little overstimulated? You know the older generation. They can't dance away their excess energy.
Wait a minute, Kate. Don't go through that door.
What in the world?
My welcome for Betty Joe. See, when she steps through door A, she triggers photoelectric cell B, which in turn activates jukebox C. What do you think of it?
Well, I'm much too happy to say it right now.
Hold it, Kate. There's a few bugs I haven't worked on. A few bugs that hadn't worked out. Oh, darn it. Funicula.
Oh, Steve.
Hi, Mrs. Bradley.
Hi. Great news. Betty Joe's coming home today.
No kidding, a runt's coming back.
Uh-huh.
When'd she get in?
Well, that's the point. You see, the commercial plane lands in the city, and then she'll probably kill 2 or 3 hours trying to get a bus to Hooterville, and then she'll have to hop the cannonball, and
And you were wondering if I wouldn't fly up and meet her.
Would you, Steve? She's my baby, and I haven't seen her in such a long time.
Luckily, I just gassed up. And besides, I kind of missed the squirt myself. I haven't had a good grease monkey since she left.
Steve? You don't think she will have changed any, do you?
Change? The runt? She'll be the same when she's 90.
Flight 356 now arriving, gate 1. Flight 356 now arriving, gate 1.
Betty Joe! Betty Joe! I thought you were somebody else. I'm sorry.
Stephen!
Betty Joe?
What are you doing here?
Your mom, she's sort of anxious to see you, so I...
So you came down to meet me. Can't you all?
How's that?
Never mind. Aren't you going to welcome me home?
Well, sure. Welcome home, Betty Joe.
Oh, I'd like you to meet some friends of mine. This is Peter, and Brad, and Ronnie.
Oh, smashing!
Ronnie's British.
I guess. Who are these characters?
I told you. friends. I'm mad, all of them.
Won't argue with you there.
Imagine. They all flew out here with me just on a wild impulse.
This one really had an impulse.
Brad came right from the party, but then Brad always does.
Well, fellas, thanks. Betty Jo thanks you, and her mother thanks you, and I thank you. And now, if you'll just...
What Stephen means is that I must say goodbye. I'll be flying the rest of the way in his plane, and there just isn't room for more than one.
Flying where?
Oh, I told you. To the Shady Rest, right between Hooterville and Pixley.
You mean there actually are such places?
Yeah, actually. Well, so long. See you around the polo field.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome. It's good to have you back, kid.
Hey, you've changed. And how? Where's my mom? Where's who? Oh, inside. Mom, Uncle Joe, Betty's here. Betty Joe. She's different.
She sure doesn't look like a shortstop.
You're telling me.
Oh, my baby. Let me look at you. Yeah. Mama, what's the matter? Oh, nothing at all.
Well, then, let's go in. I'm just dying to see my room.
Your room?
Well, you said in your letter you had a surprise for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, tell you what. Why don't you close your eyes for about half an hour and then look at it?
Oh, don't be silly. Come on. Uncle Joe, you never change. But thank you for trying. It's a wonderful welcome. Merci, merci, merci.
Thanks, Betty Jo. What do you want mercy for? One of them records didn't hit you, did it?
Merci is thank you. And something else never changes. This place. You know, we stayed at the Claridge in London. And where's Mama? Oh, of course. My room. I just couldn't wait to see the surprise.
Surprise? Honey, I meant well. I just wanted the room to look like it was, you know, so you'd feel at home and comfortable. But look, we can take everything down and you can fix it just the way you want it.
No. Oh, Mama. This is the way I want it. Honestly. Well, maybe we could lose the baseball shirt. How young I was. And the corsage from Eb. Who else but Eb would think of sending a corsage of dandelion? And some of these childish things. I must have been very silly back in those days.
Oh. Yeah. Way back in those days.
Now, I'll just put up some prints and a few pieces I brought from Paris. See, Mama, you've got the room just the way I want it.
Yeah, haven't I? Well, I hope you like the rest of the surprise. We have an open house, and some of our friends are coming over to welcome you back.
You didn't have to do that for me.
I didn't do it for you. I did it for me. I want to show you off. Darling.
Well, look who's here. Oh, mon joli petit chien. Comme je suis heureuse de te revoir.
You and me both. George sank.
George did what?
Sank. She said.
It's a hotel. The best in Paris. Très elegant.
I'll bet I did hit her with one of them records. Look how funny she talks.
That's a special whistle.
At this hour?
Boy, what is it?
Well, you see the business I brought you, Kate. 3 at a crack. I say 2. Gentlemen, we are at Shady Rest.
Holy smoke, it's Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Boys, what are you doing here?
Betty Sweets, we just had to see Hooterville. And we saw it, and we don't believe it.
Smashing!
Betty Joe, aren't you going to introduce us to your friends?
Oh, sorry. Gentlemen, this is my mother, Mrs. Bradley.
Hello.
And my sisters, Bobby Joe and Billy Joe. And my Uncle Joe Carson. And, of course, you've met Steve.
Well, so what are we waiting for? Let's all go up to the hotel.
We're just dying to see it. I can't wait.
What are they?
They're what's called members of the jet set.
What's that? What do they do?
Do? They don't do anything. They just sort of sit around.
What do you know? I've been a jet setter all my life and didn't even know it.
Well, boys, this is it. Welcome to the Shady Rest. It's not much, but...
You call it home.
Well, yes.
Smashing!
Dang, I forgot to hook up my welcome signal. Well, what do you think? Bet you never expected to find anything like this way out here.
I can honestly say we never did.
It dazzles you, don't it? Hey, you a waiter or something?
Now, boys, we want you all to make yourselves at home. And incidentally, we're having a get-together to celebrate Betty Joe's homecoming, and you're all invited.
Maybe they wouldn't care.
Betty Joe, they're our guests.
Yes, child, bite your tongue. We wouldn't miss it for worlds. Not for worlds.
Well, it isn't all that much. It's not so very special, but...
Now, don't tell us. Let me guess. Now, let's see. There'll be cake.
And cookies. And fruit punch. And then we'll all gather around the piano and sing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, smashing!
Maybe we should postpone the party until after they leave.
Hey, Joe, are you ashamed of our friends?
No, but these fellows are different.
You can say that again. That one fella. I haven't seen so much hair since Todd Foster got Mandy's sheep and wouldn't shear 'em.
Well, here's somebody right here. Oh, thank you, dear.
Mrs. Tuma? Oh, we ought to take pictures. They'll never believe us.
Smashing!
Oh, here Betty Joe's friends now.
I told you they was a queer-looking set of Jaspers.
Oh, that ain't polite.
Folks, these young men are Betty Joe's friends from New York City, and boys, these are our friends. Now, I know you've met Floyd, and that's Sam Drucker, who runs the general store. And this is, oh, goodness, it'd take all night if I introduced everybody. So why don't you just go around and howdy all the folks, and you'll be friends in no time. I know that isn't according to Emily Post, but what's around here? Oh, Bobby Joe will need more sandwiches, dear.
Hear that, man? The lady says mingle and say howdy. 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 Smashing!
That cat says smashing one more time, I'm going to tie a knot in his tea bag.
Howdy, old-timer. Howdy. Do you think the rain will hurt the rhubarb?
Well, gosh, no. I mean, we really didn't have too much rain. As a matter of fact, it was a real good season. Ben over there, he raised a real fine crop of rhubarb. Sturdy, red, stood about this high. He got top market price for it, too. Yep, a real good crop.
Well, I guess the rain didn't hurt the rhubarb.
What did they think I was telling them?
Lily Dashay.
Oh, no, Martha Hughes.
Of course. Say, about that hat.
Really? It isn't new, you know. I just put on new fruit at Easter time. Smashing.
What did you expect, Mama? These fellows are men of the world.
Well, don't look now, but we're in this world, too. And if you don't mind, I'd like my name back. It's Mom, not Mama.
Don't you think it's time they left? I'd be very happy to.
No. You come in the kitchen and help me get some punch.
Well, if it isn't Casey Jones.
No, Floyd Smoot.
Wait a minute. Now, don't you tell me you let me guess. You do imitations.
Why, yeah, how'd you guess?
Now, I know an imitation man when I see one.
Oh, that's fascinating. It's a cute bunch of friends you got.
One thing I do is my train whistle.
Like to hear it again?
Would you?
Oh, don't stop now.
What'd that call?
Thank you, Billy Joe.
Mrs. Bradley, what do you think of those characters?
Oh, well, I never like to form an opinion on such short notice.
Short notice? Well, how much notice do you need? They're loud, they're obnoxious, they're conceited, revolting.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I get the picture. You don't like them.
In spades.
Just remember one thing. They are Betty Jo's friends.
That's what bugs me. How can a swell kid like Betty Jo fall in with coots like that? She's got charm and looks and class and... What's the matter?
By any chance you're not jealous?
Jealous? Over the run? Of course not. That's, silly.
Yeah, I suppose it is. She has changed a lot, though, hasn't she?
She sure has. I mean, you know, growing up and all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, come on, we're having a party, remember?
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O. Well, Golly, Kate, I guess these fellows ain't much used to entertainment. I'm darn near afraid to hit them with my specialty. Might be too much for them.
Yeah, that fella. He's got a specialty.
Smashing! Let's have her, Zeke. Floyd. Oh, all right, here goes. Dog meets cat.
Sandy, you can see what they're doing to the poor guy. Now let me take him apart.
No. But I think it's time I said something.
No, Mom. It's time I said something.
Well, if it isn't little Bo Peep, she looks like one of them.
Smashing! What are they talking about?
It's nothing, Floyd. Except, do you think you could fire up the cannonball for a special run?
Well, sure. Who wants to go someplace?
I think these three gentlemen. I have an idea they may want to go back where they came from.
All right. I'll get her fired up. When I give her the you'll know she's ready.
Betty Sweets, are you by any chance trying to tell us something?
Darn right I am. And I'm trying to tell my real friends something, too. But I'm ashamed. And I apologize to them. You know, back in New York, I was quite impressed with these characters. Somehow it seemed very sophisticated. All laughs and games. And never a worry about poking fun at anyone or hurting his feelings. It was the in thing to do. Well, I've got news for you. Here in Hooterville, we happen to have respect for one another and regard for each other's feelings. And we're just corny enough to think a little common decency is the in thing. Oh, I'm not surprised you don't dig me. To you, that's about as out as you can get. Well, you'll pardon my being abrupt, but I'd like to see just how far out you can really get, and the sooner the better.
What's going on?
Don't look now, but I think our little girl is really growing up.
Well, man, that seems to be our cue. Betty Sweets, don't think it hasn't been fun, because it's been hilarious. And don't try to see us to the door. You might fall off your soapbox.
Joe, you didn't give these guys a welcome. Don't you think you at least ought to give them a farewell?
Are you kidding? Oh, yeah. They gotta have a farewell.
Oh, by the way, Gramps, never mind about the farewells. We'll remember this place for as long as...
Well, Kate, how'd you like my farewell?
Petticoat Junction.